People of God, I want to share this dream with you that I had a few years ago. I believe God is leading His faithful people off the path of Christianity. Many of us grew up in Christianity, thinking it was the true path of God, not knowing of the many corruptions in Christianity caused by not keeping God's laws because everyone is doing whatever is right in his own eyes. Frankly and honestly, I want to say to you that any religion that teaches you to turn away from keeping God's laws is not from God. In John 1:14, we read clearly that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. As we are aware, over 2,700 years ago, the Assyrians exiled the 10 tribes of the Kingdom of Israel because they refused to keep the laws of God. So, how could God be okay with us not keeping His laws if we are His people? God said in Ezekiel 36:26-27, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will take the heart of stone out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will keep my judgments and do them. And also in Jeremiah 31:33-34, God said, But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No more shall every man teach his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they all shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, says the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and their sin I will remember no more. The only way to know the Lord is to have His laws written in your heart and mind. Otherwise, you can't know Him. This is why the children of Israel were struggling, because the law of God was on the tablet of stones, not in their hearts and minds. It was very hard for them to keep the way of God. That caused them to continue going into idolatry. Back to the dream. On October 16th, 2015, in the middle of the night, around 2:30 a.m., I woke up from a dream. I saw in my dream that a decree had passed, and the Pope had to attend a meeting to sign an agreement to take the responsibility to represent every Christian and sign on behalf of every Christian. The only way a Christian would sign is if the Pope refused to sign. I saw that we had arrived at the meeting place, and there were many people in line behind me. At the very entrance, they set a table with 2 signing clipboards on each side of the table, and the other security guards are there in case something goes wrong. I arrived in front of the table with the Pope standing on his right side, but I don't think anyone was able to see me, so the Pope took the clipboard to read what he had to sign. It happened to be the decree that he had to make sure every Christian took the mark of the beast, because time was running out. As he was reading, he became very fearful and decided not to be part of this agreement anymore. He began crying mournfully, saying, I can't, is too much for me. So the security man said to the Pope, You cannot pull back. If you don't sign, we will shoot you. The Pope said in sorrow and weeping, I can't sign this. It's too much for me. I am scared. And the security that is in front of the Pope calls those other security officers to come take him away and shoot him. So when the guards arrived to take him away, he said, Okay, I'll sign because he didn't want to die. So he signed very quickly. Since he signed, no Christian had to sign. When we went inside that camp, many people were already there. Once you get into the camp, under strict supervision, no one can leave. People had to do whatever they said, but later, God sent a man to show me the way out of the camp, so I didn't get to take the mark of the beast. The remaining part of the dream is about how I had to live a clean lifestyle before I was able to leave the camp. Later in real life, God introduced me to Judaism from the path of Christianity. My encouragement to you is to pray to God to guide you to His true path. I remember back in 2014, God spoke to me while I was in prayer. My Bible opened on Jeremiah 33:3. It's like the word came out of the Bible page like a person standing next to me saying, "Call to me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." I started crying and said, "Yes, Lord, I want that." Since then, my life has never been the same. What do you think? Could this dream be a warning from God, telling us not to trust the Pope because he may also have been manipulated by Satan to fulfill Satan's agenda, and that Christianity is an establishment for great deceptions? Could the Pope be the false prophet in the book of Revelation, chapter 20:10, that will later be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on this subject. Understand that Christianity is not a religion founded by Yeshua when he was on earth. When Yeshua was on earth, he practiced Judaism because his mother was a Jewish woman who kept the laws of God. And Yeshua's disciples were Jews who kept God's commandments. This is why Acts 10:10 tells us Peter had a dream that, while he was very hungry, he still wouldn't eat unclean things, even in his dream. Don't just dismiss information. Pray about it. Maybe something good will come out of it for you. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Shalom.